name's Owen, and I'm the Dungeon Master of our Return of the Giants 5th edition homebrew campaign.
Hi, I'm Ali. I'm playing Lyra, the Eladrin Spore Druid, and she is just a little bit obsessed with mushrooms.
Hi, my name's Simon. I'm playing the character of Ember. I'm a wildfire druid who's on a quest to be the very best there ever was.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I play Harry Harrington, the Harrengon, the roguish merchant with the heart of gold.
My name is Christian. I'm playing Bartholomew, the romantic dancing Owlin, Paladin of devotion.
Hi, my name is Matt, and I'll be playing Niles Silverwind, the Owlin, Way of the Sympathy Monk.
Hey guys, I'm Jared. I play the character of Threign, the boisterous frost giant, the Goliath, path of the giant Barbarian.
Hello there, lovely listener. This is just a warning to let you know that this episode of Return of the Giants may contain adult language or adult themes. Hello there, and welcome back to the Lost Archives, everybody. It is wonderful to see all of your gorgeous faces once again. We are here, we are ready, we are playing the premier homebrew Dungeons & Dragons campaign, Return of the Giants. And boy, do we have an exciting episode for you tonight. We left on a bit of a cliffhanger last session, so I won't keep us too long with announcements. The super quick announcements that we have, Simon is unfortunately out for tonight. I'll play the character of Ember, and Christian is also out. It is his partner's birthday, so we're going to wish Jess a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Jess. I know Jess. Is also active in the D&D creator space, so I'll chuck a link to her little TikTok down below. Make sure you go and check it out, and wish her a happy birthday. So Christian is out, so I'll also play the character of Bart tonight, which means I'm going to be controlling a lot of things. So please bear with me in combat. I will do my best to keep things moving quick and slick and fast. In terms of other announcements, look, I do have to call it out. For the Aussies, I just want to say, very proud day to be Australian. Was it this week? It was Saturday, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was over in a couple of hours. Very, very proud to be Australian. Absolutely massive landslide for our centrist left party. Really, really exciting news. Really good to see. Very happy. Just very happy. A lot of really, really good results. So super stoked, super proud to be Australian. I know a lot of Aussies were celebrating quite loudly. I do also have to say it's very sad to no longer have Anthony Green reporting on elections. That was his last one. We have a very, very charismatic political commentator in this country who does really he's correctly called almost every election very early on. He's an incredible analyst, very funny, very charismatic guy. Anthony Green, it is sad that this was his last one, but pretty historic one. I think he said, he was during the coverage, he was saying it's the biggest change, switch over of votes, percentage shift that we've ever had in our country. So I'm really stoked that he got to go out on a really, really big high note. And for those here you go.
He made watching that live coverage on the ABC quite entertaining. So it was shame to see him go, but yeah. Did
any of you play the Let's Wait for the Pre-Polling drinking game? No, because none of you are dead. So you mustn't
exactly. I'm still standing.
Watching that liberal guy. What was his name? Oh, James, whatever his face was, the liberal guy who was there on the panel. Slowly watching.
So uncomfortable. It's really funny.
Oh, and I think the counter for him, because he sort of kept saying let's wait for pre, and then Anthony Green very early on was like, if you want to have a fun game, let's do a drinking game, have a drink whenever he says this. Yeah. By the end of the night, you would have died. The alcohol would have killed you. It was too much alcohol.
The liberal guy just getting more and more flustered as the results were coming in, and as it was showing such a swing to the left. He's like, oh no, it's fine. He's just getting super flustered.
He won't lose his seat. And
it's still good. It's still good.
Yeah, it's if you haven't seen the coverage, if you want to watch a whole panel, 8 other Australians dunk on this one Australian guy, it's bullying by the end of it. Very, very entertaining. I do recommend checking it out. It's very, very funny watching them because to be fair, he sets the tone by going on a massive unhinged rant about how Greens are racist and stuff, which is just ridiculous. So they all just then were like, oh, okay, this is the level you're pitching at. Let us meet you at that level. There's one thing Aussies we like to rise to a challenge, and if someone sets a tone, we will absolutely join in. Yeah, so it's quite entertaining. So there, I thought we'd do very happy results. Very, very good results. That's the only major announcement I have to share. Anything else fun? Dave, how's Claire Obscura going? Expedition 33? You're muted, buddy.
You're muted.
It's in my
Yes.
top 3 of all time, I think.
Wow.
I finished the main story, and it was shorter than I'm being conditioned to. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we're conditioned to JRPGs or RPGs taking like 100 hours.
Oh, like Baldur's Gate
So when
3 is
I
a
finished
prime
this-
example.
Yeah.
100%.
But like for
every-
context, though, how long did it take you to finish the main storyline?
about 30 to 35.
Okay.
And like
Okay.
that's me exploring like all the routes of the main areas, but not going to like a lot of the side, because I actually missed it. I was like so focused on the story, wanting to know what happened next. I kind of like didn't explore the world map to these niche areas. But like I took all
Got
the
the
content.
5-hour power story.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like the first game in a long time where there's no padding. It's like
Yeah.
there's no I need to go grind to unlock this arbitrary.
I've heard it's the
thing to get
opposite
past this
problem,
thing.
that it's really easy to get over leveled and like be a bit of a powerhouse. I've heard that like early game especially, you can over level quite quickly.
It can be. I mean, there's
I don't
difficulty
mind that.
settings
I
for that.
quite like being OP as all fuck.
Yeah, I know,
Wandering
me
into
too,
the
me too,
area.
me too.
It's quite entertaining.
Well, especially once you start min maxing, right?
Yeah.
If you weren't min maxing, right, the level doesn't actually mean much. It's more like
Yeah,
the
true.
equipment that makes the difference.
Yeah, that's right.
And yeah,
I
and
believe-
the story was so good.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but like also the quick time events and parrying also plays into it a bit as well. So there's like a level of
Exactly.
skill involved in like, you know, like being able to time those things to be able to effectively beat combats when you might not otherwise be able to in other, you know, settings with JRPGs. Like you might be underleveled, but because you're really good at parrying, you're able to like sort of come out on top in some of those encounters. So I think it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially if you have the
Balance like that.
patience, because the battle will be longer because you're doing less damage. But with the
Oh,
parrying
true.
system, like you can just get by.
I do believe as well, a lot of people are saying there's a lot of good New Game Plus content too. So if you do want to pick it up again, there's even more content in the New Game Plus to play around and find out.
I love a good New Game Plus. I might have to check this out and do the same thing. I really love a good new, because that was like Starfield, right?
Well, no,
Starfield
on
was
Game
best when
Pass.
you just powered through and then did the New
Yes.
Game Plus in the new universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just another example
Spoilers.
of a team that has been put together, mostly junior
Passion,
devs that have
passionate,
new,
interested, excited.
studio and just absolutely nailing it. So I think
Yeah.
that's
Frustrated of
fantastic.
Ubisoft moving
Yeah.
on to wanting
'Cause
to
this would
try
be-
something new.
This would probably be like a double A game. There's not a lot of double A games.
It's
is
a
like-
double. It's a double.
It's a double A.
game.
Yeah, we've
Wow.
not had a
Yeah,
lot
but
of
it
really
looks
good
triple A.
double A's. It's either like indie that
And-
goes nuts or triple A that we've known about coming for years in advance. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
I would love to see the revive of the double A industry.
I
think-
100%.
I think I just want to see more IPs, more
Yeah.
original games.
Well,
more...
we know that Larian are going to be working on new stuff, which is kind of exciting.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
I would have loved
Absolutely.
more
I think-
Baldur's Gate though.
Bring it on.
I think blending of genres is something very special as well. Like,
Yeah.
like this one, like it's a turn based, but it's also like, in a way, Souls like. You have the campfires that you go to, the enemies respawn. You know, you that's where you do your upgrades and all that. And I haven't felt this kind of like vibe since I remember I was a kid and I sat down on Kingdom Hearts and I'm like,
Yeah,
it's like a Final Fantasy game, but not.
I've heard that
You know?
comparison before. Yeah.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
definitely have to check it out.
Oh, please do, please
Definitely
do.
not downloading it as we speak.
It's
Yeah.
it's a story that doesn't treat you like an idiot.
Oh, nice. That's
That's
also
right.
that's
Hell
also
yeah.
exciting.
Like there's things that are like on the nose and it doesn't need to tell you, so you need to
Mm.
focus. You have to pay attention, and the storytelling is done. The people speak like real people. It's like
Yeah.
how
That's
we would have
nice.
a conversation.
Yeah.
And even the
Yeah.
mannerisms and the movements in
Mm.
dialogue, like it's very realistic in that regard. You know, characters move in a way that's like believable. Like you can imagine yourself in that setting, like doing those movements, saying those things. It's really, really impressive.
100%. Oh, so good. Play it.
I will say
Play it.
as
Everyone play
well.
it.
I will say as well, just to segue back into D&D, I was talking with the guys just before we started, before we went live. Unearthed Arcana, new overhaul
Horror.
on some of the classes.
Horror-based
Horror.
subclasses.
Really cool, really cool. New Artificer subclass, the
Do you want
Reanimator.
to be Dr.
looks-
Frankenstein?
Be Dr. Frankenstein. That's the way
Yeah.
to be.
It's
Incredible.
I think it's a precursor to a relaunch of Strahd for sure. I think we're going to see
I
Strahd
agree.
come out in October. There'll be a reboot of Strahd or something else in the Domains of Dread. It'd be great if they did some stuff with the other domains of dread, because there's a whole bunch. It's not just Ravenloft.
That'd be
There's
cool.
loads of cool shit. But they'll do Strahd because it's Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro, and they just want to milk that IP for all it's worth.
I mean, Curse of Strahd has been regularly voted as one of the best campaigns, if not the best campaign in D&D 5e. So I think it's only fair that it gets a relaunch in the 2024 rule sets.
At some point, yeah. But it's easy to convert. Like, we've been running 2024 stat blocks and everything, and it's been very easy to do. I almost would prefer a brand new Domains of Dread to explore. There's lots of really cool stuff out there.
Yeah.
Unless they do an
100%.
expansion of Strahd. Like, if
That'd be
there's
cool
sort of
too.
room for a little one.
Yeah. Yeah, there is,
Yeah,
for
that'll
sure.
work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But we're not playing Curse of Strahd tonight. Tonight we're doing Return of the Giants. Let me do our recap. Let us jump into the session, and we will begin. The Tempest Adventuring Guild, a name now legendary across the lands of Nostea, is taking on the threat posed by the return of the Giants. Lyra, Niles, Harry, Ember, Threign, and newcomer Bartholomew have sailed across the waves to the Shattered Isles, making their way to the site of a volcanic eruption. The journey across the waves was not without incident, though. Late into the night, Harry spotted a disturbance in the water ahead, the sea churning as seabirds fly high above the ocean's surface. An enormous grey-scaled form suddenly burst from the waves, snapping at some of the birds above, before crashing back down into the sea once more. The Triton Rylia, who they had met back at the town of Mudria, quickly called out to the others, something in Orcish, Mac grabbing the rudder and trying to steer the boat aside. While Harry, Ember, and worked to redirect the light of the drift globe away from the boat, Lyra cast Speak with Animals and plunged her head below the waves, Niles and Bart rushing forwards to keep her steady and on board. Hearing the calls of vast creatures beneath, Lyra called out to them in their language, her magic translating the musical tones. It was quickly made apparent the large creatures did not mean the party harm and were instead feeding on a vast bait ball the party had inadvertently attracted with their light. Redirecting the ship, extinguishing the light, and with Lyra's efforts to speak with the cetacean whales, all of this was enough to ensure the team's safety, the Titans departing to shallower water after revealing the recent eruptions had awoken dangerous creatures in the deep. Continuing onto the village, the boat docked at the abandoned town of Heatmeave just after dawn, the party deciding to explore the town while Mac, Setu, and Rylia took the raft around the coastline. Wandering through the quiet streets, or in Niles and Bart's case, flying overhead, the team found clear signs of chaos and confusion, as well as evidence of the evacuation described by the orcs. More concerningly, however, was the scorch marks burned into the wooden buildings and piles of ash scattered haphazardly in the streets. As Bart and Niles noticed signs of people hiding within the nearby church, Harry had begun to look through the nearby buildings, spotting a golden tooth nestled into one of the ash piles. As Harry reached towards the tooth, the ash suddenly began rising and twisting around as two glowing red eyes opened within its form. All across the town, other Ash Mephits were also stirring. The team pulled between fighting off the Mephits and extinguishing the flames created by them. We left off last session as the flames had grown large enough to engulf one of the buildings, with Harry still inside. Just as Harry was turning to get himself back to safety, he heard a wretched voice call from the burning cinders, "Burn with me." And that is where we left off last session. We're going to jump in the middle of combat, which means I'll be bringing us across to a map straight away so that we have everything up and running. We are at the start of a new round. Let me chuck some more appropriate battle music back on. How do we feel about escape route? That seems appropriate, given that you're locked inside a building right now, Harry.
I mean, I'm not technically locked.
No, that's true. You're just chilling inside the building.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just chilling in there like a villain. All right, perfect. Next up in the initiative order, as we start at the top of the round, it is Niles's go. Oh, and I do need to add the turn for the Cinder zombie.
Yeah. Man, I gotta remember what I was doing, what was
shit.
happening. So,
4. So, to describe the scene, all of you are currently gathered around in the inner section of the town of Heatmeave. You've been exploring through looking for signs of life. After you and Bart had spied some disturbance in the church, you'd begun to watch all of these piles of ash throughout the town begin to stir and shift, animated again by some magic. As you rushed over to the rest of the group, you could see that the building Harry had been exploring was in the process of catching fire. Mephits, these Mephits made of ash and ember, emerging from the burning building and from the piles of ash all around town. You've managed to dispatch a few of them, but you've noticed that every time one of these Mephits dies, it explodes into a cloud of ash that seems to hang around. If you have a look on the map, you'll see there are these sections darkened out towards the south, almost covering one of the buildings behind you that has been engulfed in this burning ash that blinds and chokes those who breathe it in. At the moment, you're all gathered outside the burning building that Harry is inside. Bard is currently surrounded by Ash Mephits. There are 2 currently up close to him. Ember and Flicker working together to use Lyra's decanter of endless water to put out the flames on the building. Lyra had just escaped from one of the ash clouds, and Niles, you had just rushed up close to Bart when you'd seen this all happening. All of you have seen Harry duck inside the building and disappear.
Have I moved at all yet, or is
It's
this
the beginning of the round,
this
so you're good to go.
beginning of my round? All right, great.
Beginning of the round.
Niles, seeing his companion Bart surrounded by these Ash Mephits, will race in and try and assist as best he can. He will rush in to attack this Ash Mephit. I don't believe these have been damaged at all yet, have they, Owen?
These ones have not.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know why I rolled an investigation. Never mind.
That's okay. We can still take the... so it's an 8. What's your to attack bonus?
It's a +8.
So
it'd
that'll
be
take
a
it
16.
to... Yeah, that would be... Definitely a hit.
Beautiful. I'll roll some Damagios.
We do like our Damagios. This music is very appropriate. I'll bump it up a little bit higher. I know it's a little bit on the
Nice.
quieter side.
It's going to be a 13, which is pretty hard hitting there.
13 points. These are the smaller ones that were spawned outside the top of this building. Niles, how do you want to do
Yep.
this?
You watch as Bart gets attacked by these 2 smaller Ash Mephits. Niles rushing to protect, and just sort of like as he rushes through, just with the momentum of this speed, he just punches through and just knocks, I guess, this Ash Mephit's head just clean off its body.
As your fist strikes through that very small, narrow join between the head and the torso. I mean, these creatures don't eat, so there's no, like, doesn't have to be anatomically able to pass food through it. It's almost this impossibly spindly neck. And as you punch clean through it, you watch as a second later, the Ash Mephit dissolves into these embers and cinders around your fist, dissipating in that moment as its form breaks apart. You tense, readying yourself for that explosion of ash and smoke that you've seen before, but none comes. These smaller ones, you can see that they are a lot less hot. The embers burning within them are far less potent. These seem to be ones that have been spawned or created out of the ash of the burning building.
I see. Seeing that and seeing the ease of which that one was dispatched, I sort of, with the momentum of this movement kind of all happening in one go, Niles like pirouettes and then sort of moves forward with that momentum into the next one, and will also strike the second Ash Mephit.
Nice.
Hopefully hoping to dispatch this one as well in quick succession. Not with a nat 1 though.
Not with a natural 1, unfortunately. As your fist... Oh, yeah?
I do have inspiration from Bart, so I think in this case I will use it just to dispatch this Ash Mephit real quick. So I will roll that again.
Perfect.
Ooh. Not my
17
best.
hits.
Just 17, that's a bit better.
So there's
Okay.
basically, I mean, you've realized there now seem to be ancient Ash Mephits and young Ash Mephits. The ancient ones are the bad ones. They explode and are real problematic. The young ones aren't so bad to deal with. 7 points of bludgeoning damage. Very nice.
Oof. Let me just take a look. I want to see how many focus points I have.
You should have a few.
I've got a few. Sure.
Dave, I was going to say, do you reckon this is a good look? Do you reckon I should keep this look? What do you reckon?
She cosplays Shaggy from
Oh,
Scooby-Doo.
that'd be really fun. I should do that.
Yeah.
He bro giant Great Dane.
That'd be quite funny, actually.
I will use a I'll use a focus point, and I will flurry of
Nice.
blows because I want to defeat this.
Kill this thing.
as quick as possible. So I will strike again with 2 more flurry of blows.
I feel like there was a sound effect that came with flurry of blows. Do you remember what?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
It's 12.
12 is not enough, unfortunately.
That's okay. I will roll my final flurry of blow. Hopefully it rolls through. Come on.
I guess this is your flurry of blow.
It is indeed.
Is that where you do a copious amount of cocaine? Flurry of blow?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Or when you have a bag of cocaine, someone just goes.
Yeah.
Does that happen a lot, does it?
Okay, ADHD, it doesn't work on me.
17 hits.
For a further... Ooh, that's better.
13 points of damage. How do you want to do this?
Again, Niles sort of... It's all happening in kind of like one quick successive movement. Niles running into to protect Bart, sort of punching the first one, pirouetting around, punching the second one. Not quite doing enough lethal force with the second hit, but then following up with a almost like a bicycle kick as he like swings down and just like kicks this Ash Mephit into the ground.
Amazing. There is actually something else I forgot. They do still have a death burst, but it's not the giant smoke. Could I please have a Constitution saving throw from you?
Oh, it's poison,
twice?
wasn't it? That's right.
Poison. And I'll make it for Bart as well.
Okay. That's fine.
Two con saves,
Constitution
please.
saving.
Bart's pretty good at these, man.
That's a natty 20 for the first one. Let's go.
Shit. Bart fails. That's an 8 for the first one. 22 for the second. So Bart is poisoned.
I will say that we have I believe Bart's aura gives us a plus something.
Yes. Bart's aura gives
I think it was.
you...
I think it was a flat 4, no.
Aura
I think it is a
protection,
flat
you gain a +4 to saving throws while in the aura.
So, cool.
And they've changed it so you can't stack auras in the new 2024 rules, bastards. a full paladin party with one of each paladin having all the auras stacked was pretty incredibly powerful, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Awesome. I will chuck. What's the sickest looking one? What's a face that looks really sick? Oh, let's do the skull. Skull for poison.
So what would you do then, Owen? If we had 2 paladins who had auras,
You have to pick. You can choose which aura you benefit from one at a time, but it's not something because it has like rules for it. So it says specifically for the auras. If another paladin is present, a creature can benefit from only one aura of protection at a time and chooses which aura while in them. And then you have to leave and then come back in to choose the aura again.
Speaking of paladins, there was a paladin class that I played a while ago that I'd love to revisit, which was the Order of the Watchers, which I think would make a really great paladin in like a strike first rogue sort of like would be very, very cool.
Waterdeep Dragon. Is it Waterdeep Dragon Heist?
Yeah. Yep.
Order of the Watcher would do very well in that.
That'd be a good one. They kind of remind me from a flavor perspective as like a spy master or someone who isn't quite a rogue but is like kind of like in that sort of same vein.
They get initiative bonuses as well, right? Yeah.
The aura gives you an initiative bonus, which is nuts.
Could
if
be
you're in a
kinda
party
good.
with other rogues or characters that want to like go first, it's great.
Very handy. Anything else on your turn, Niles? As you take out the 2 methods.
Probably just with any available movement. I'm not sure how much I've moved, but I can move fairly.
You've only moved 10 feet so far.
There you go. So I'm going to use the rest of my movement, seeing that Bart is fine now.
He's sort of coughing as he's choking on the ash, but he seems okay otherwise.
Oh, sorry, Bart.
It's okay, carry on.
Yep. I'm going to move... Is the door open to the building?
The door is
above us?
open. The door is open. You can see into the room. You can see Harry kind of standing there, just away from the door frame, looking a bit confused as he looks at something deeper into the house. You can see he's kind of cocked his head. His ears are kind of pointed towards it.
If I can maybe do a quick yell. If we can, I've got a tidal wave spell that I can probably unleash on the building to try and put out the fire if we can get everyone alive out of the building.
Oh, do you want me to get... Okay, I'll try to get Harry. He might be in trouble.
It's an option. Not sure.
This thing in here, I don't know if it counts as alive, but I think we don't want it to be alive, so maybe we should unalive it with tidal wave.
Oh, so
I don't want to unalive you at the same time.
I'm in the doorway. I'll be fine.
I'll just stand outside then. Are you okay, Harry? Do you need help?
I will blink if I need help.
Niles,
Okay.
as you rush up to the door frame, you can see inside the house. You can see what Harry is kind of looking towards, pulling itself free from one of the piles of ash. You can see charred bones, broken sections of its form beginning to pull together as a humanoid begins reconstructing itself from the charred husk. It looks like some sort of undead creature. You can see clearly it's being powered by necromantic energy. Flames burn within its eyes, and it pulls itself free. It turns towards you now, seeing you and Harry both. Burn with me.
No. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. This is the thing I was saying we should unalive.
Oh, yes. Okay. Should we, Lyra, get that wave ready. Get it going.
If it's undead, would a wave be better or would something radiant be better?
Oh, it's on fire, so I think water will work well.
I think the water damage does bludgeoning.
Okay.
I'll figure it out.
Alrighty.
The house falling on him will also do bludgeoning, so it'll be okay.
Possibly piercing as well.
I'm just going to move Niles over to the right-hand side, so I'm not in the same square as
Yeah.
Harry. But I am
Niles,
technically
above
in
you.
The door frame. Yeah.
Above you, the upper floor is burning away. You can see that the fire is beginning to grow stronger as it begins to grow hotter and hotter up above you. It's definitely, this house is now burning, for sure.
Oh dear.
Bartholomew, on his turn, now Christian gave me some instructions for what Bartholomew would want to do. He wants to keep all the focus of combat on him, taunting bad guys, and getting out, because he's got protection of good and evil up. Okay, he's going to, hearing you sort of call out that there's a zombie inside, or there's some undead creature inside, he's going to go, I will come and help. I've got this. And then he's going to rush 5, 10, 15, 20,
There's also
25.
still the guy behind Lyra. If it keeps him out of harm's way.
Oh, he doesn't know about that because that's been in the shadow while he's been fighting other stuff. I mean, you can call it out. You can
I
go
might yell out and be like, "There's also an ancient smoke, fiery Mephit dude still in the cloud behind me that I didn't manage to quite kill. But I'm not sure which is better aimed for."
I will defend you, Lyra. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's then going to hold his action until he, and essentially until the Mephit emerges. He is then going to attack it.
Amazing.
It is the Ash Mephit's turn next. That is quite well timed. As the two of you stand there. Yep, Lyra. I thought you were going to say something. As the two of you stand there, begin looking like ready to see what's going to happen, what's going on. You watch as emerging from the cloud in a sudden blaze of ash, one of the Ash Mephits rushes forwards. As soon as it does so, getting up within range of you, Lyra, and Bart, he's going to take his action to do a strike. He's going to use his Odachi. That is going to be a 13 to hit. That is the DC. It's going to deal... Wow, I rolled shockingly bad on that. I rolled 1 on that. That is really bad.
No.
That's gonna do
you.
3 damage. Yeah, shit. That's pretty bad. That's not enough. As he goes, I fumbled a bit, sorry. As it emerges, it is then going to do, only 1 for the moment, it is then going to do its Cinder Breath. Could I please get a dex save, Lyra? And I'll get a dex save, but you have a +4 to this. Oh no.
8 + 4.
No,
+4
that's a fail.
Is,
That's a fail. That's still a 12. That's still a fail. And that is a fail from Bartholomew as well, unfortunately.
No.
You are both blinded until the end of the Mephit's next turn. Both of you are blind. Alrighty. That's
Lyra
unfortunate.
is blind.
Lyra
That's
is
like the
blind.
status effect.
Which is rather unfortunate because a moment later, you watch as the other Ash Mephit, the elder Ash Mephit, emerges from the cloud of smoke and makes an attack as well. Yeah. It is going to do its claw attack. It has advantage against you, Lyra, because you are blind.
Uh-oh.
That is going to be a 19 to hit. That's going to be 7 points of fire damage. It's not that bad. I rolled shit.
Bumpy sort of leaps over and is just sort of trying to absorb as much as they can.
It then uses its second attack to attack Bartholomew. It has advantage because Bartholomew is blinded. That is going to be a 22. That will hit Bartholomew.
It will.
He's currently got an armor class of 14 because he took his armor off to fly around. And that's going to be 6 points of damage to Bartholomew. Max. Alrighty. That is the Mephits go. Harry, it is your go next.
So Niles is in here with me, right?
Niles has come in here with you, yeah.
Niles, why did you come in if we're about to knock the building down?
Well, I thought I could help, but I guess I'm in here now with you.
Can't argue with that.
Neither of you were in the building.
There's a barrel of water next to me, right?
There is, yeah. Half full water barrel.
And the floor around this thing is kind of burning faster, right?
The floor above you is burning, and the embers are dripping down through the floor above. These are like cinders that have. As soon as some of those cinders landed on the ash pile, it immediately began to reform. There's something about this fire that's not natural, Harry. Do you want to make me an Arcana check, or I would say Arcana, or maybe Survival. See if you pick up anything specific.
Oh, my survival's +4. Nice.
There you go.
That's pretty good.
It's a 16.
16. Harry, you've seen fires burn through buildings like this before. You're not part of the Thieves Guild unless you've committed a little bit of arson for insurance purposes on occasion. This
I'm
fire
not
is
part of the Thieves Guild.
allegedly. This fire has burnt way too fast. Excessively quickly, the flames have spread and grown. Magic is behind this for sure. You know this. Looking at the way the fire is burning, looking how quickly it's spreading, looking at what it's doing, you know that the fire is responsible for these, whatever this creature is before you, this humanoid creature dragging itself across the floor. The fire has created this. There's something unnatural about this, something arcane about this fire.
And the way this fire is burning, does it lead me to think that maybe there's more things upstairs setting on fire, or maybe is it just the fire itself that's...
So you know there was a one of those ancient Ash Mephits up there, and then as it started to spread the flame, 3 small ones emerged from inside. You're not sure whether or not there's still one up there or not.
Yes. Okay. Well, this is the bigger threat. Harry says,
"Burn with me."
I think roast us isn't on the menu tonight. Harry tells Niles, "Remember where the door is." And Harry will cast darkness.
Right there. Oh. Oh my!
Fantastic. I have a token for magical darkness. Let me chuck it down.
15 feet radius, I believe.
Nice. That is brilliant. Where are we? Cloud kill, conjure barrage, control water, darkness. Here we go. Where would you like to drop it? Right over the flame?
Oh, right over the middle of the scary looking guy. He looks pretty scary, right? He seems pretty formidable.
Do you want to include yourselves in that darkness, or just in front of you?
I think it would probably be best to have him in the center, so he's like even more lost and doesn't have to take 2 steps forward to come out of it.
Yep. Okay. Then that's you guys in it as well.
Yep. And I have told Niles to remember where the door is.
What does your darkness? What does your darkness spell look like, Harry? When you cast darkness, what happens? Does Figment rise up and drain all the light from the area around you, kind of absorbing it in? Is it like a flashbang rather than darkness? Is it? What does it look like?
I think Harry puts his arm out, and out of the gem on his paw, all these black, not tentacles, but the black streaming numbery looking things that we had come out.
Like the black lake you see sometimes in your visions with Figment, like the yeah.
And it comes out as like little streams, like almost like a tentacle and wave, and eventually just fills the area. So it's not really sucking lightness; it's just filling it with darkness as opposed to absence of light.
That's really cool. Yeah, the inspiration for that dark lake, by the way, is the idea of like the black mirror, the screen with the light turned off as you look in. So that's where that came from. So that's what that perfectly smooth, still water was. For those of you who are wondering.
There you go.
What did you say? What was it?
I was going to say, for me, I imagine it is almost like a Vanta black. When you said the absence of light, that's like that pigment, complete like absence of light, where it's like hard to tell what's three-dimensional.
Yeah, because you lose the contrast. There's no contrast, and so your brain's like, ah! Yeah.
It's solid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you put your arm out, you can't even see your hand, right? Like it's
freaky. As the shadow fills the room instantly, these tendrils and spirals of these dark symbols flying from your hand, Harry, as soon as they form the barrier, these like symbols, flying out, forming a dome. As soon as they pulse, everything inside the light, it's almost as if the light is drained in an instant, leaving only shadow and darkness. From outside, you watch as the door, Lyra, suddenly is black, gone. You watch as these like swirling shadows across the outside, occasionally seeing these symbols flash up and vanish into the mired surface. Yeah, something's going on in there. Anything else on your turn, Harry?
Yes. This window near, like one of the windows near the front of the house, right? There are open windows.
Yes, there are open windows. Yeah.
So there's no glass or anything. Like I could
just
jump
no
out
glass
of that later.
It's just shutters that are open.
Harry would like to relocate to the window in the corner of the room.
Harry, do you have Devil's Sight?
Yes.
Fantastic. Then you've got no problems at all.
I can see everything.
Literally everything.
Yes. Harry reminds Niles, like, the door is just over here, this behind you, and like, because we're next to each other, kind of grab his arm and point it.
Place his hand on the door. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And Harry disappears. So Harry
Niles, here's the door. It instantly vanishes, just leaves you there alone. Ninja stars out of there, smoke bombs out.
Harry would like to go into the corner here, and
yes,
he wants to prepare an action so that when Lyra does do anything to the house, he can just jump out the window before that.
Okay.
But he doesn't want to leave the room until Niles is out.
Very noble.
So is that a bonus action, or could I still take a bonus action?
Bonus action
part of my movement.
Yeah, I'd say like
jump out the window?
It's a ground floor now, so to dive out the window is very much part of your movement.
Okay, so then if that's the case, now I'd like to use my bonus action to bonus action hide.
Perfect. Could you roll with stealth, please? While you're doing that, Ember is going to turn towards you, Lyra, and see you and Bart currently surrounded by these Ash Mephits. He's going to call out, "Do you need a hand?"
Get Bart. I've got myself, but get him out of this situation.
I could just kill them.
That works too.
Great. He is going to cast... he could Thunderwave this. And maybe take you all. Nah, he's not going to do that. He's not a dick. He will do a Thorn Whip against one of them. That's going to be a +7 to hit. So yeah, Thorn Whip would be good. That's a 20, unnatural, for 12 piercing damage. He's going to target the younger one first. You watch as Ember summons in his hand this... Actually, do we want to have it that he's got like at his waist this little sprig of vine, and as he pulls it out, pushes the magic into it, you watch as the vine grows suddenly, emerging into this enormous tendril that he throws out, grabs onto the Mephit, pulls, and as he does, thorns immediately shoot through, spearing through the creature and turning it to ash and dust. He's not within 5 feet, but you and Bart both are. Could I please have a dex save, please? That's a 12. That is +4, 16. That is enough. I'll do one for Bartholomew. That's a natural 20 for Bartholomew. You're both fine. You're not poisoned as this goes off. Oh, wait. Question, though. Because Bart is also poisoned. Let me just make sure that's highlighted too. Does that mean that he has... No, it's just... Oh, he has... No, he's okay. On ability checks. This is a saving throw. He's fine. Cool. Oh, but if he's blinded,
Blinded.
any ability check that requires sight. This doesn't require sight. This is like an explosion of ash and smoke around it. This doesn't require sight. I'm going to rule that this is more about him just holding his breath. Perfect. That one is dead. Ember's then going to turn towards you, Lyra, and go, I can only take out one, but Flicker might be able to flicker. As he points towards the other one. Flicker's then going to do a flame seed. He's going to use his bonus action to command Flicker. Oh, yeah?
I was going to say, if it's a fire spell, which they might be...
he can bypass it with his elemental attunement.
Okay, sweet. Never mind. I was going to say, otherwise, just get barred out, but no.
Oh, 13 is not enough for the ancient Mephit. That is a shame. You watch this Flicker sends out this burst of little flame that crashes into the Mephit. The Mephit immediately turns, grins, and looks back at all of you. Not enough. And Ember goes, oh shit. And then he's gonna back up a little bit. That's his turn. Lyra, it is your turn next.
If I can, I'll start off by yelling out to Niles and Harry and just being like, okay, I know exactly where you guys are and where the fire zombie dude that Harry was just talking about is.
Well, I'm by the door.
I'm by the window. Oh, Harry's stealth. You don't hear Harry.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Burn with me. You hear from inside.
And the zombie dude, are we talking 10 feet from the door? Upper floor? What are we thinking?
Lower floor.
You're going from memory now. What do you know what I should do? I should move. Wait, if I do... Nah, that's right, I'll just leave it. I'll leave it.
Well, Larry, the problem is I can't really see at the moment.
I'm blind.
I'm blind.
Harry blinded me. I'm blinded.
Do you remember about where he was when you last saw him?
In front of me, in the middle of the room, but you might have moved, right. So I don't know.
Nope, I can work with that, and you're definitely by the door, and Harry's by the window, yeah?
I'm off to the side of the door a little bit. It's on my left.
You know, you're within 5 feet of the door.
Sure.
Okay, let's go with this. And I'm going to cast a 3rd level tidal wave.
Oh.
Nice.
No? No?
Go.
No, or go.
Unleash.
So it's 10 feet wide, and so I'm going to assume that you guys are within 5 feet of that front-facing wall, and see if I can. I'll just broadcast this just to sort of get a line going, but it's sort of like right on that dividing line between the two, because it's 10 feet wide, so sort of leaving this 5 feet cube.
Would you like? Here we go. Oh, that's big. That's not it. So how wide was it? Sorry, you said it was
10 feet wide, 30 feet long, 10 feet tall.
Holy
Beautiful.
Shit.
You are.
So if you flip that horizontally instead of vertically, and then and then 10 feet. It.
Yeah.
10 feet wide as well.
Oh, 10 feet. Sorry. There you go.
And so essentially, I'm trying to I'm assuming that these guys are both up against this front wall where I am, and I'm dropping it that 5 feet sort of behind that, assuming that, again, it's somewhere in this vicinity.
Amazing. As you summon the tidal wave, what does it look like for you? I'll make a dex save in the meantime.
I think sort of with all the ash and everything, and normally I think Lyra would probably be summoning sort of the nice, cool, clean water from her abused water flask that she doesn't have on her, so she's just pulling the moisture from the air, which
Ember still has it open. Ember still has the cork
right
open, so you can reach towards it, pull the water free as he's there. I'm happy to allow that. Really cool.
Hell yeah. Well, either way, it is just so contaminated with ash. It's not beautifully clean water. It is just this dark, muddy pool, essentially, which I'm not sure. I think is Bart or Ember the only one that can Ember is the only one that can technically see it, I think, because I'm blind. Harry and Niles are in magical darkness.
Yeah,
So
true.
Harry can see it because I can.
Harry can
Also,
see it. He
this
can
spell
see it through the darkness.
is point within range, not point that you can see.
Perfect. As you summon the water and throw this little mote out, you watch as the water begins pooling across the ground, these little rivets running together, and some of them hissing into steam as they enter into the door. In front of Niles, you feel water rush around your feet, and then suddenly in front of you hear the sound of roaring water, and then the sound of it smashing down. That is a fail on the dex save for the Cinder zombie. That is a 7. 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then also, the water then spreads out across all directions across the ground, and it extinguishes
unprotected flames.
any unprotected flames in the area within 30 feet.
As it moves across the ground floor, it soaks and then vanishes. Okay, as it moves across the ground floor.
It's also 10 feet tall, so if there is any fire on that second floor, that is also it.
Absolutely.
Perfect. That's awesome. That's so cool.
You watch as from the street below, you hear the sound of this sizzle, this hiss, and a moment later, smoke and steam begin billowing from the roof. The Cinder zombie does fail, 16 points of damage, absolutely. Yeah, wow, that is incredible.
Can I say, Ellie, your line that you drew through the building, because I know you can't see into the building.
Yeah.
Was perfect.
Perfect.
It was absolutely perfect. It's like a movie where the attacker's coming, walking across the train tracks, and we're just standing there, and the train comes by. Like that was what your arrow was. It was.
Do you want to know why? Because I put it on there.
Oh, okay. That explains it.
She gave a very clear description. 5 feet in front of the door. I was like, I can work with that.
And I'm going just based on because the map ends like sort of 15 feet from the door. If the guy's not,
Yeah. Niles, for you, this is horrifying. You feel water suddenly move around your feet. You hear the sound of a roaring wave, the sound of something smashing into the ground, the hiss and sizzle of fire, and then the room fills with superheated steam. Nothing else happens as far as you're aware. It is not
yes,
prone.
wait.
Oh,
Getting a bit
so before the end of my
steamy
turn,
Yes.
can I use phase? Oh, actually no, I'm not going to use face up. I'm just going to move 15 feet-ish, just to be flanking with where I assumed that was.
Perfect. On the Cinder zombie's turn, it will slowly stand. Harry, only you can see this. It will slowly stand. I'm going to roll a d6 to see which direction it goes, because it doesn't have the intelligence to remember that kind of stuff.
What's the extra 2 directions?
What was that, sorry?
D6? Like, what are the extra 2 directions?
Put down.
Oh, I'm just going in like cardinal direct, because it's vaguely going. So what I'm doing is it knows vaguely front and back behind. So I've gone for the full range of motion around, because like it's not stupid enough to go completely the wrong direction. Like it still vaguely knows where it's heading. So that's why I use a d6 for that. Because there's no d5. It is moving 5, 10, 15, 20. Actually, no, it can only be 15, sorry. As it moves out towards the edge of the ash cloud, begins looking around. It can't see anyone or see anything from this. That is its go. At the end of the round.
Why not having any surrounding fire anymore? Like, because this whole thing was burn with me, and it's like, well, there's nothing on fire around them.
Oh no, it's on fire. Like it is shedding light. There are embers burning within it. Towards the south, you watch as the flames across that building, that southern building, grow even larger. Matt, could you roll a d6 for me?
Yeah.
Does he get an advantage or anything? Is he like knows where the door is?
Oh, this isn't for him moving.
Okay.
Wait, southern building?
A 5.
5. Brilliant. Thank you, Matt.
No worries.
Lyra, you hear voices coming from that burning building to the south. Burn with me. Burn with me.
Another one.
You can't quite see, but it does sound like there
This
might be
direction is south, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I thought that fire was nearly out.
There was another one that was lit towards the... so the problem is, right, with the shadows, it's hard to see. There was another fire right towards the central columns that was set off by Bartholomew destroying one of the Ember Mephits, the Ash Mephits.
Oh yeah. Oops. Yeah. My L could be a joke. It's okay.
And that is the end of the round. That is all they do is arrive and begin calling out, "Burn with me." Niles.
This creature is obviously talking. It's saying noises, it's saying things. Because I'm currently obviously enveloped in the darkness still,
yes.
Right? And Lyra was talking about the water. The water has evidently passed through the room. Niles is not sure now if he needs to leave or stay. I think he wants to stay and try and fight this thing because he doesn't want this thing to be running around. Am I able to kind of maybe do a perception check to sort of gauge where this creature is, in the room using hearing?
100%. Yes.
100%. Cool.
Well, let's see. You can roll for it. Let's see.
We can see what we roll.
I think you're pretty good at perception.
That's
a 9.
9.
Niles, you're pretty sure it was directly in front of you. You could hear it directly in front of you before. It's still there, right? You know where the door is. It's just in front of you.
Cool. Niles is going to run straight.
Niles, you run for 15 feet before colliding with a wall and bouncing off it. You are going to take 1d4 point of damage as you collide off the wall and crash down to the ground. That is going to be 1 point of damage. That seems appropriate for smashing face first or beak first into a wall.
I'm assuming I can't move any further north because that's the edge of the map.
There is more of a house there. I just didn't think you guys would go that far into it when I had this map all set up.
Oh,
but
okay.
There is more room there as you crash into it and move around.
I'm just going to say I bonk into that wall.
I can move you off the map.
Please move you off the map.
So you might be able to see. I don't know if you can see if your vision extends.
I can see the
far,
outline. I can see the outline.
Cool. Okay. Yes, I have moved you off the map.
I take 1. How much damage? 1. Okay.
1 point of bludgeoning damage.
Crash into the wall.
Yeah.
Harry sees this and he's like, "The door was the other way."
Yeah. Pretty much.
Am I still in the darkness?
You're still in the darkness.
Fuck. I'm wondering if Niles would know whether or not to go left or right next.
With your perception check, you don't know where it is. And now you've realized that as you've rushed in, you're not quite sure what's in this house, how big it is, if there's more of them.
Shit. Fuck.
This is fun.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what Niles would do in this case. I'm gonna reach around my surroundings, try to figure out I don't know, just kind of feel my way around this area for a bit.
As you begin placing your hands upon the wall, your claws scratching against the enameled wood. Yeah, this building is bigger than you thought.
Can Harry talk and break himself?
Yeah.
Harry's like, "What are you looking for?"
Trying to fight the zombie. I don't know where he's gone.
Are you sure fighting a burning zombie hand to hand's a good idea?
What else am I supposed to do, Harry?
It's my whole thing.
Okay, well, if that's the case, Harry would like to, because I can't see where he's on the map, give him directions and rough distance to the zombie.
10 feet. Back the way you came, slightly to the right.
Okay. Right. Harry would use
cardinal directions.
He would use a clock. He would be like, "You're 3 o'clock."
You can see which way he's facing. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Basically, he's 5 o'clock. Direct. He's
5 o'clock, 10 feet. 5 o'clock, 10 feet.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to say, because I'm a very nice DM and you've got a bit of extra movement, with Harry's direction, you emerge from the ash, from the darkness, sort of looking around, and then you see it right there as it turns towards you. As you emerge and look at it, there's a moment where you both look at each other, its held action goes off, and you get your turn as well. As soon as it sees you, you watch as it immediately holds out its hand, fire burning within it, and it reaches towards your chest. Burn with me. It's going to try and do a burning touch. That is going to be For the first attack, that is a natural 1. Fuck.
Nice.
That misses.
And the next one is going to be an 11. That also misses.
They both
Wow.
Nice.
Really shit. Your turn, Niles.
I sort of deflect with my arms. And then I'm going to
Bad
punch
touch. Papa. Nice.
Actually, I'm gonna first of all, I'm gonna use an unarmed strike, so see if I hit. So that's gonna be a, I don't know what that is yet. That's
16. That'll hit.
16. And I'm gonna use a focus point to try and stunning strike him as well.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. So, stunning strike. Target must make a DC 14 Constitution saving throw.
I will make that con save. Would you like to see a? I've got another picture of these things. So this is using the
Absolutely.
the new flaming skeleton stat block that's been released with the new update of some of the D&D Beyond Monster Manual stuff. Here is a picture of it. It's pretty sick. Con save. That is a 19. It's pretty good.
Alright, so even though he passes, his movement speed is halved until to the start of my next turn.
Nice.
And also the next hit that it takes is with advantage. That's not a terrible waste of resources.
Very nice.
I will
Very
still
nice.
roll the damage for that unarmed strike, because I haven't done that. And that's going to be 9 points of force damage, as I am using force to fight this thing, not just
Brilliant.
my fists.
Nope. Very, very nice. As you strike in, cracking into the ash that's forming around this creature, you watch as it looks down and looks up again, the hole in its body and its chest burning with these cinders from the flames above that have been quenched. It is still burning though as it looks towards you. Burn with me.
Be extinguished, creature. And I will strike again. This with advantage.
Brilliant. Fourteen and
4.
Oh, 12. That's not enough, fortunately.
Okay.
As you go for that second strike, you watch as it reaches out again with this burning hand, the flames moving through its body, and you quickly have to abort your attack, moving out of the way to avoid being struck by this thing.
I burn another focus point, and I do 2 more strikes with my flurry of blows.
Nice.
It's going to be a 15.
15 is the DC.
All right. I'll do some damage on that.
Or AC, I should say.
Not the best
15 is
amount of
the
damage.
other plus. 6 points of damage. Very nice. 16. Very nice. Anything
Nice.
else on your turn? Oh, sorry. That was the damage. Sorry. 16 does hit 13 damage. Sorry. I thought 16 was part of your damage for that next one. Perfect. Done.
That's okay. No, I do my big hits, and I stay locked in combat with this creature, trying to extinguish it with my fists.
Brilliant. Bart, on his turn, is going to make a swing against the Ash Mephit nearby. That's going to be a plus... sorry. Oh, yeah?
The blindness at least neutralized because I've got the flanking backside going.
That is very true. Yeah, that does neutralize the... he's also poisoned as well, though. Poor Bartholomew. Oh, no, but it's back at the Embers. No, they haven't had their turn yet, the Mephits. Their turn is next, so he's still poisoned. So he still maintains the disadvantage, unfortunately. He does have the imbue. So I think he did his sacred weapon for imbue last turn, didn't he? So it does give him a +4. Oh no, that's the thing he has to. Oh yeah, for 10 minutes. No, he has done that. So that's an extra +4 to hit to attack rolls. So that's going to be a. I see what's done. So 15 +4 takes it up to 19. That is going to hit the Elder Ash Mephit as he strikes down, and that is going to be. 4 points. Why is his damage so bad? I'm rolling shockingly bad. I rolled a 2 on that.
I don't think strength is one of his high stats. So
No, it's not.
It isn't scaling very well with you, Darchi.
I think he might smite on this. Like he might do a divine smite. He's got the
He's also got a bunch of stuff.
He's actually pretty tapped on a lot of stuff. Look, I will cast it. I will cast a Divine Smite. Let's do it.
Nice.
Let's do the extra 2d8 radiant damage. That's going to be an additional 11 radiant damage. That is enough to then kill this thing.
Oh,
unfortunately, it is the Elder Ash Mephits, so we know what happens
no.
next.
Oh dear.
As soon as the Elder Ash Mephit is killed, you
Before
watch.
it goes off, can I use my reaction? Never mind, it's bonus action. Never mind. Doesn't matter.
Sorry. This is. Do you know what I have to say though? It's pretty funny that you guys have managed to sort of set these up all in about the same location, which is really bad, right? It's kind of formed this entire this block that you guys can't really see through, with all of the shadow and the darkness forming around.
Is this method considered a beast or humanoid?
No, it's an elemental.
Never mind.
Sorry about that. As soon as it goes off, you watch as Bart looks around going, oh, shit. It was the big one. All right, I'm getting the fuck out of here. And then he's going to run a few steps towards his right, hoping to get out of the ash cloud. 5, 10, 15, 20. As he gets up towards Ember, Ember points down towards the zombie to the south. Bart goes, yep, okay. 5, 10, and that's his full movement. The Ash Mephits are gone. That is the last Ash Mephit. I will remove them from the initiative. Harry, it is your go next.
Oh yeah. Harry will do the most interesting thing, and he'll just run in and stabby.
Run in, stabby.
25 feet of movement. Get there. So I have 5 feet left. Harry will run in and Booming Blade. Do I do this with advantage since he can't see me?
Yes, this would give you the sneak attack, yeah. You've also got Niles within 5 feet, so you get sneak attack anyway, right? Because you're a bit of a
but do
rakish...
I roll twice with my attack because I'm hidden in darkness?
Yes, yeah. You get the advantage, yep. Oh.
So twice. That's
a natural 20. That's a natural 20. We always take the first damage that was rolled.
Yep.
So in this instance, that's going to be... It's better anyway, so that's going to be a 9 plus an additional 8. So that's going to take it up to 17. You then get plus 8 for the sneak attack, which takes it up to 25. You then get an additional 3d6 on top of that, which is additional 18. Because you critted on this. Hang on. Let me do the math on this. So 25 plus 12. That is going to be 37 points of damage, Harry.
Is that including the thunder damage from...
nope, sorry. No, you are correct. I am missing some thunder damage as well. Sorry. 37.
7 plus 8?
37 plus 7 plus 8. 52 points of damage, Harry. How do you want to do this?
Whoa.
I want to do this from Niles' perspective, right? Because they're fighting on the edge of darkness.
Yeah, Niles doesn't even see you.
Yeah. Blows.
Yeah.
And you just see from the darkness the rapier go through his head, just from the side. Just. Is
there like a crackle of lightning?
And then the thunder damage detonates the head and just leaves, like just bursts the head like a balloon as the creature just drops. Burn with. And then pops, and you're just like sort of standing there as ash slowly falls around you as the creature is destroyed.
And you see Harry walk out of the darkness and flick his rapier to like get all the gross stuff off it.
Remind me not to get on your bad side, Harry. That was my goodness.
You could never be on my bad side, Niles. We're biffles.
Thank you. That was impressive, though. My goodness.
Oh no, you had him pinned. Like you moving around in the darkness was impressive.
I did hit the wall there, but that wasn't very.
Oh no, it's moving by feel. You felt the wall, and then you need to turn from there.
Your directions were very helpful. Thank you.
Well,
I was very confused.
One team, one dream.
One team,
Indeed.
one dream.
Harry will yell out from in the house to outside. Zombies all taken care of. We might go check upstairs if you don't need us outside yet, just in case there's more upstairs.
I can't see shit.
You hear Ember go, there's 2 more out here. I think we can get him though.
If that's the case, how many feet would it take for me to get to the top of the stairs?
15 more feet.
Okay, I'll bonus action dash and go to the top of the stairs, so 15. So I have 20 feet left.
As you run to the top of the stairs, Harry, you can see that the flames have mostly been extinguished. That massive flood of water that Lyra summoned and created inside this house has extinguished most of the flames here. The smouldering embers remain. There doesn't appear to be any Mephits, any of the Cinder zombies. It seems like it's pretty empty.
Do I hear any of the Mephits? Like the Mephit was flying, right? So, but...
yeah, no other sound. Do you want to make a perception check?
Yes, please.
He doesn't believe me. Doesn't believe me, folks.
No.
18.
I don't want to tell the team that it's empty and just have it not empty in the house.
And then like a claw grabs your ankle and pulls you under a bed. Or
we leave the house, we kill all the Mephits, and all of a sudden it bursts on fire and like a demon lord from on the ground comes out.
Ember, with a perception of 18, you can see a very distinct scorch mark in the center of the room that looks like one of the Mephits, one of those older ones, burst itself to create this massive explosion of flame, and in the process created 3 younger Mephits as well. It kind of sacrificed itself, this ancient Mephit, to supercharge these flames.
And I am concluding that the ash is what summoned the zombie.
It looks like
the
Mephits. When the magic of the Mephits comes into contact with the ash of the people, that's when the Cinder zombies come alive. Or something about the fire. When the fire touches these ash husks, it's like it gives them the energy to reform. Yeah. So you want to keep the ash piles away from flame.
Because the ash pile that I picked the tooth up from is gone, I assume.
It's gone. It was what formed that creature you dealt with downstairs. As the ash fell through the floorboards, burning with cinders, it reformed as this zombie.
Harry takes off his detective hat and comes downstairs. So that's 5 feet left. So I'll move 5 feet towards the door after that. All clear upstairs as well. We're all good.
Okay. We're coming out now.
Did you want to cancel your darkness, Harry? You can stop concentrating that if you like. No.
I can't move it. I don't get to cast it very often. I'll
just keep it up.
Leave it up.
Just leave it up. Yeah, you can leave it up.
I'll cancel it. Okay. Niles needs to find the door.
Niles, you watch as the darkness kind of fades away, Harry holding up his hand as the symbols fly back into the gemstone. As you sort of flex your hand, Harry, you watch as that smoky, shadowy version of Figment forms around you. As Figment sort of looks up and moves around, seemingly a little bit confused as he sees all this, Figment turns towards you, Harry.
That was very well done, Harry. Quick thinking. Something about this magic feels familiar to me.
It's because I imagine it's a fire giant magic. Because I reckon a fire giant's behind the whole this whole issue. So yeah, does that sit in line with what you feel?
I'm not sure. My understanding of fire giants were that they were master forgers. They ran the forges that powered a lot of our constructs. They provided metals, items of great power to the rest of the giants. They were our smiths, the greatest among us. This magic is new. This is concerning.
Well, I mean, a pretty bad guy was using the stone giants to do things that they wouldn't do either. So, yeah, there's probably some foul play here. We'll clean this up and figure it out.
Does Figment have a lozenge tonight? Voice sounds rather not.
Sounds rather human. Actually.
Rather human.
Oh, yeah. Is it not coming through on the?
Oh, they're coming through.
Oh no, was it coming through on the stream? Oh,
it was coming. But I was like,
it was coming through on stream.
There
we go.
Oh, what? It was coming through on.
It was coming through on stream, but not through here. That's hilarious. I didn't have it set right.
Is that better? Do I sound more like what you remember, Niles?
Yes.
That's annoying. Now you know the human voice I do for Figment behind the scenes. It's not as impressive, is it?
And I can't even check the recording.
Harry,
I didn't even hear it.
Harry, please help me, Harry.
I am scared, Harry.
Harry, someone has swapped. Help me, Harry One Kenobi. You're my only hope. Oh man.
The darkness when I cancel it, it's like it gets sucked into the gem, and it's like a bed sheet that's too big to fit in this little box. So you see it like all going in and squeezing in at the very end into the yep.
And Figment does a little burp as he like emerges from the gemstone, having swallowed the darkness.
Wow.
Alrighty,
Cute.
Next up in the order is Ember. Ember is going to move in front of Bart and go, "Don't worry, Bart, I've got this." As he holds up his hand, he's like, I can overcome resistance to fire," and then flings out a bolt of flame towards the Cinder zombies. Ember is going to use a... Oh, he could do a Scorching Ray. Has he got enough? He's got...
Rays of that, right?
No, do you know what? No, do you know what he's going to do? He's going to do this Fairy Fire, because he's got a couple of first level spell slots, and I think Fairy Fire is going to come in handy here. As Ember like conjures this sort of like collection of small twigs and little bits of bark and little herbs, dried herbs from his pouch, you watch as he stokes a bit of flame, causing them to glow red hot. But the colors of the fire dance and change and shift, taking on this sort of almost like purplish, yellowish kind of hue, changing between pinks and greens. As he pulls the ash from these burning herbs into his hand and goes, unleashing it into the air. You watch as the ash begins to fall around these zombies. They need to make dex saves, or they actually... Oh yeah, he can just see that. Yep. They need to make dex saves for his Fairy Fire. I'll just make sure I cast it. There we go. It's a DC 15. That's a fail. Oh, for fuck's sake. No, that's a pass. Sorry, one of them's a pass, one of them's a fail. You watch as one of the Cinder zombies begins to glow with the flame as the tiny like burned herbs and ash touch its body and get incorporated into its body. You watch as the flames that are burning around it take on that Fairy Fire appearance, these pinks and greens and blues, as it glows with that Fairy Fire light. Let's do a nice yellow dot. The other one seems to just be completely unaffected. Ember then turns towards Bart, nods and goes like, "And obviously now Flicker." As he reaches out and Flicker does a burst of flame. Flicker's flame flies towards them as he does a Fire Seed attack. Flame Seed attack, that's going to be a +7 to hit. 19 to hit. You watch as the fire... Oh, he's got advantage too. Let's see if he gets a crit, hey? There we go. 22. We'll take 22. You watch as the flame burns forth, bursting from Flicker's maw. As soon as it strikes the Cinder zombie, does absolutely nothing. The flames immediately dissipate as Ember turns and goes like, No, I should be able to overcome resistance to... Oh, fuck. Yeah, these things are completely immune to fire. I've really only got fire spells. Good luck, everybody else. And that's Ember's go. Lyra, it's your go next.
So, I'm gonna move 25-ish feet towards where Ember and Bart went. So let's go with about there-ish.
Nice.
And then, okay, so I can see a Cinder zombie. Did Ember say that they saw a second Cinder zombie?
He said there's two.
Just the one?
He said there's two.
There's two. Oh. 50.
Don't worry about it. It's all okay.
Just gonna drop a single moonbeam, I think, at the moment, just on the one that I can see. Yeah. Yeah, so,
2 radiant damage from your moonbeam. Where would you like to drop your moonbeam? Right on top of the the main one there?
Yeah, right on top of the guy I can see, assuming he passes a DC 15 con save.
Just right on top of him for the moonbeam?
Yeah. Just,
look, I'll roll the con save. I can close the Mephits now. They're all dead. That's a 20. So he takes 1 point of damage.
One point of radiant damage.
I'll mark off that point of radiant damage. Lyra, it looks like your spell did nothing. You look across, it looks like it's had no effect.
Yeah, I'm going to... With the,
do you know what it is? The ash cloud above you is blocking access to the starlight and the moon above. I mean, there's 2 moons, right? That does not seem enough. Phoebe and Melody are not high enough in the sky for you to be able to draw upon them right now.
I think Lyra is still technically blinded, so I was gonna say,
shit.
how long does that affect? Is it a,
it's until the Mephits go, so you're no longer blinded.
Alright, sweet.
Because the Mephits have had their go and then been removed, so you're actually no longer blinded. Neither is Bard, actually.
In that case,
It's not poisoned either.
Sorry, I'm just going through my options. Does anyone look particularly hurt? Of the Bard or Ember or one that's sort of within range?
Ember and Bard are looking okay. Ember's taken a few little burns. Bart's taken a few little burns, but otherwise they're looking okay.
Assuming that Bart's slightly less fireproof than Ember. I'm just gonna see if I can do this. Sorry, as a bonus, or is that an action? No, it's an action. First level, yeah, just probably towards Bard, I think. Just to sort of give a bit of an 8 point, just assuming that Ember is slightly more fireproof.
Done. 8 points of healing to Bartholomew.
Mm-hmm.
Bartholomew's back up to full. Alrighty, anything else on your turn, Lyra?
No, I think that's it. I might just sort of yell out, it's like, oh, yep, there's one, maybe two of the Cinder zombies out here, out this way.
Alrighty, the Cinder zombies. Now, they take damage at the start of their turns in the Moonbeam as well, right? Or is it if they enter the spell or end there?
They only take damage
changed.
once per round, I think.
Okay, cool. Yeah, fair enough. I think it's when it's now when the spell is cast or when they end their turn within. I think they changed it so that it made a bit more sense. Okay, the Cinder zombies. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. When the cylinder appears on a successful save, creature made save in the spell's area moves into its space when it enters the spell's area or ends its turn there. Yeah, so that's how it's exactly what we thought it was. Sweet. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. One of the Cinder zombies rushes up. Oh, yeah, you go.
I don't know, I was just saying it's once per turn, not once per round. That's up to that one, yeah.
You watch as one of the Cinder zombies rushes up towards you. As soon as it gets close, you watch as it holds in this breath, leaning back. Burn with me! As flame explodes from its mouth. Lyra, Bart, and Ember. I need all of you to please make me a dexterity saving throw. That's an 11 from Ember, a 20 from Lyra, and a 16 from Bartholomew. Ember's is actually a 15 because of the +4. Lyra's is a 24 because of the +4. Everyone passes. That is only going to be half damage. That is going to be... it's 4d6. I rolled 2 1s and 2 2s on the damage for a total of 6, which means all of you take 3 points of damage. Fuck. That's
wow.
So shit. I thought my moonbeam rolled.
So shit. It's just shit. I think this is a good look for me. What do you reckon? The other Cinder zombie is going to summon 2 motes of fire into its... I won't leave it like that. Summon 2 motes of fire into its hand and throw them. Matt, could you roll me a d6? Dave, could you roll me a d6?
I can.
1, 2 is Lyra, 3, 4 is Bart, 5, 6 is Ember. 6 is Ember, 4 is Bart. Lyra, you're not taking any damage from this. Not even bothering with you right now.
Whoa.
Apparently, you're not worth it. Sorry. In this instance, you don't want to be worth it. Oh, fuck my rolls. That's an 8 and a 9 to hit. That's going to be 2 misses.
Whoa.
I have not rolled for these. These Cinder zombies are really badass, all right? I know I haven't rolled anything. Like, the Mephits did more damage than these fucking things right now because of my rolls. At the end of the round, the flame grows bigger and burns through that building. Ali, you didn't get to roll any dice next time. Can you roll me a D100, please? $40. As far as you're aware, nothing happens. Niles. Oh, there is one more thing that happens, sorry. At the end of that round. Oh, you guys you can't see this, though. Yeah, no, don't worry. Sorry, as far as you're aware, nothing happens. Nothing happens. Because there's ash clouds in the way. Don't worry. Carry on.
My turn?
Your turn. And as far as you're aware, all good. There's Cinder zombies outside, but that's okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Niles is going to go 5, Come on. 5, 10, 15, 20 out. Gee, where is everyone? I don't even know.
We're standing in a line.
All standing in line. Oh dear.
They're all just there, hanging out, having a good time.
Making great
It's
decisions.
all good. Everyone's having a good time, mate.
Does 25 feet of movement get me there? Or do I have to burn a point to get there?
Let's have a little peekaroo.
Ooh, it gets me close.
Pretty close.
Gets me next to Ember. Which is not exactly where I want to be. Yeah.
I know, there's like a musky sort of animal smell to Ember. You're just noticing it now. Like as you spend more time with Ember, you notice that there's a bit of a like a barn animal kind of smell.
Oh.
I'm kidding. Sorry, just because you said you want to be next to Ember, so I was like, I'll come up with a lore reason why you don't want to be next to Ember. It's like a musky kind of sheep or goat smell.
Well, yeah. I kind of am getting the idea that these creatures are probably they're doing a lot of flames, a lot of gassy clouds. Niles is just going to come, like, just run straight in a straight line. And then he's going to use his action to ready an action. Pretty much just if any creatures come at him, he's going to punch them.
Alrighty, nice.
Is that alchemy jug still spilling water as well?
Yes.
Yes.
He's been spilling water this whole time since I said
Would
it.
that have affected the south building's water?
It has. It has. It was a lot. This could have been a lot worse. Yeah.
Yeah. Bonus action. I don't know if there's really much I can do with that. But I don't really want to use anything. Yeah. No, I'm good.
All
I
right.
just take up a stance ready to strike anything that comes my way.
Fantastic. Next up in the initiative order is Bartholomew. Bartholomew is going to hold aloft his Odachi by the power of Saturn, and then strike down. That's something he'd say.
Yeah, it is.
It's something he'd say. He gets a +4 to this using his imbue weapon, which he's already activated, and he's also going to do a smite on this as well. I think he might do it as a thunderous smite. Oh, it is a first level spell slot though. This is his only... Nah, go on, fuck it, let's go. So that's going to be a 20 to hit.
Ooh.
Fantastic.
Nice.
That's not too bad. We're finally rolling some better damage for
big boy damage
for Bartholomew. Never mind, that's a 1 on the dice roll for the damage. That's 3 points of damage plus an additional 8 thunder damage. So that's 11 points of thunder damage. And he is going to cry, I think, at this point. Just why am I so shit when it's this dickhead in control? It must succeed a strength save or be pushed 10 feet away. I'll quickly roll for that. 7. It is pushed 10 feet back, 5'10", as it is thrown back and knocked prone as a result of this sudden blast from Bart's sword imbued with this thunderous energy. Harry, it is your turn next.
Yeah. Harry would like to... I mean, thematically, he'd like to lean on the window of the building and look out, but in DE20, I can't actually see out the window.
Yes, I can. Do you want me to I can just move you. Just move you to the window.
So
then you're good. There you go.
Yeah, I'll just... Oh, can I see out the window? What's that? Did you fix that? No. Yeah, so I'll be in the house leaning on the window, but for the purposes of the D20, I'll just sit outside the window, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, Harry, from a relatively hidden position in the door window, he would like to, shoot at the zombies. Probably the closer one.
Very, very nice. Make me a ranged attack.
26 to hit.
26 obviously hits.
Do I crit on that? No, I think it was something else. Yeah, okay, so that's... Do I get sneak attack damage because I'm shooting from in the house?
Yeah, it doesn't know where you are. Yeah, yeah, it has no idea you're in there. Yep, 100%.
21 damage.
21 points of damage. Yeah, I mean, obviously that hurts it quite a lot. Anything else on your turn?
Harry will then duck down and bonus action hide again behind the window ledge.
Fantastic. Do you want to make me a stealth check to hide?
27.
27's pretty good. 27's pretty good. Ember on his turn is going to look at these things and go, I'm not a lot of help with fire things.
Put out the fire.
Oh yeah,
you still got the flask.
Yeah. Flicker is then going to rush up. He's going to bonus action over here with Flicker, and then he's going to unleash the Decanter of Endless Water onto the flame here. Lyra, could you roll me a D100, please?
Roll well.
Please
roll well. 34.
It's a number.
The number. It is a number.
It is true. It is a number. And you know what? There was
2 digit.
It's
That's
2 numbers.
True.
Yeah.
2 digits. That's good.
Look, do you know what? It was a 50-50 chance. You either get a 34 or you don't. It's a 50-50 chance. So we do this in Curse of Strahd a lot. No, it's something Raph says in Curse of Strahd a lot, which we have a lot of fun
he
with.
does say it a lot.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, we also roll a lot of under
terrible
D100s
D100s.
in D100s on Curse of Strahd. So there you go.
Yeah. That is Ember's go, as the flames do seem to die down, but not as much as you would hope. Lyra, it's your go. You've still got your moonbeam if you wanted to move it.
I was going to say, as a magical action, I'm going to move my moonbeam to be centered right between the 2 zombies.
Beep, 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 beep.
Okay.
Slightly better roll this time.
Con save for the moonbeam. Where would you like to move it to?
Right between the 2 of them, so that they're...
Whoops, that's the wrong one.
It's sort of that... that little blue one. But...
Yeah, there we go. Alrighty, as it has been moved on top of them, I better roll a con save for both of them right now, hey? That's a 12 and a 6. That's 2 fails. 11 radiant damage to each of them. Brilliant. I've marked up that damage. 11 radiant damage. Very nice, Lyra. Anything else on your turn?
I've done 15... 20. Not wanting to sort of leave the others too far behind, but also not wanting to be in a line. I'm going to retreat just a little bit.
No dramas at all. The Cinder zombies. Alrighty. The Cinder zombies are going to move up again. Bart is within range. They're actually going to split. 5, 10, 15. 5, 10, 15.
My held action will go off.
Fantastic. What do you do for your held action?
Just to attack them when they come into combat. I come into range. So let's roll to hit.
Brilliant.
That's going to be something.
21. That hits.
Great. For 7 points of damage, and I get a second attack as part of my attack action.
Yep. 22 hits. Oh, Niles, you're going to be close to this.
That's going to be 6.
Yeah, Niles, how do you want to do this?
Just as this Cinder zombie kind of scrambles up to me, I just in this bracing position, I just sort of the sutures that have been like drilled into me, I just like very like routinely just I kind of like kick it, like sweep it out from underneath it, and like as it falls, I kind of just punch it in the I don't know, in the head, in the face, just, as it like lands on the ground.
Bam! As you strike him, you watch as the ash immediately dissipates. The half-cracked skull, blackened and scorched, partially deformed as a result of the fire. As soon as your fist crunches through and cracks, you watch as it splits apart. The slightly more female voice going, "Burn with," as it breaks apart and dies again, I guess. The Cinder zombie that was attacking Bart is going to persist anyway. It's going to make 2 melee attacks against him using its flame touch. 14 misses, 22 hits, 6 points of flame damage. Brilliant.
These zombies aren't considered humanoid or beasts by any chance.
They are considered undead on account of being undead.
That makes sense.
One day I'll be able to use this ability.
What's the ability? The fear for your Misty Step?
The fungal infestation.
Oh,
reanimate.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That would be kind of that. Yeah,
That'd be
100%. That is the end of the round. Dave, can you roll me a D100? You haven't rolled a D100 for the gang. Can you roll a D100?
No. 72.
Ooh, that's a good roll.
You watch as the flame towards the south. The burst of water from Ember's blast of decanter of endless water that he's borrowed from Lyra, and the drip from the alchemy jug. You watch as a sudden rush, the floor up above gives in, the roof crashing down and helping to extinguish the flames. Very nice.
Hey.
It was all Harry. Harry.
This could have been a lot worse. Niles, it is your turn at the top of the round. You've done really well. There were a lot more Cinder zombies that could have spawned from this. You've done very, very well.
Niles running outside, having dispatched the first Cinder zombie, runs up to the second one that's currently engaged with Bart, and as he runs in, Bartholomew, let me take care of this one.
Okay.
Good to see you again, by the way, friend.
Yes.
Keep running another 5 feet to your opposing Bart.
What? Okay.
For flanking.
Oh yes, I'll go right here, behind him. Why not? I'll go all the way behind him. Aha! Got the movement speed. I can do that.
Nice.
Sorry. Cool. That's going to be a
19.
A 19. I will also... This one's fresh, right? I don't think it's taken any damage, or has it taken a little bit of Adachi damage?
It's only taken a tiny bit of Adachi damage.
And the 11 radiant from the moonbeam.
Oh, yeah, yep. I'm also going to grapple this one, too.
Oh, very nice.
So, as a part of the attack action, I can do a grapple. So it has to beat, either use a strength or dexterity saving throw and beat the DC, which I realized I was miscalculating. It's actually a lot higher than I thought.
Ooh, what is the DC?
16.
16. I will roll a dex check. These things are more dexterous and strong. That's a 14. That's a fail.
There you go. 2024 rules. I can use dexterity instead of strength, and
Yes,
my
you
dexterity
can.
is really high,
Yeah.
so it's actually a lot higher of a DC. I was miscalculating it for a while. Awesome. As I grapple with the Cinder zombie, I literally just drag it. I can use the rest of my movement to just drag the zombie with me away from Bart if I want to, and it just moves with me. I don't take half damage or half speed or anything.
Did you want to drag it into the moonbeam?
Exactly what I'm going to do.
As you move back around, you just slowly rotate and drag the zombie into the moonbeam. Do you walk through it as well? That's a brave choice.
I don't know if I don't take damage from the moonbeam, do I?
Yes, you do.
Oh, I do? Well, in that case, I won't. I won't walk into it then if I'm going to take damage. I'll sit to the side.
As soon as you drag it through, I will make another con save. Do you want to roll me some more damage, Lyra?
Yep. Although I'm just double checking it's when the damage triggers.
When it enters the spell's effect, I believe.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you have someone who can
nice.
grapple really easily now.
When the spell's area moves into its space, when it
It happened
enters the
again.
spell's area or ends its turn there. I rolled a natural 1.
Oh, 2.
So is it when it moves into its space every time it moves into the space?
So the rules are for Moonbeam, it has changed. When the cylinder appears, and then after that point, a creature makes the save when the spell's area moves into its space, when it enters the spell's area, or if it ends its turn there. But it only has to make the save once per turn.
Oh, Oh, okay. So I can't like move it in and out of the moonbeam, like.
No. You can't just do infinite damage. No. So it's now made the save. Like it's it. So this is its turn. Okay. It's doing like an early reaction.
Cheese grater it to death. Okay.
You can't cheese grater it, unfortunately. It's not like spike growth where you can do repelling blast and spike growth to. Yeah.
Okay, that's alright.
And
that's fine.
They're definitely not polymorphed, are they?
They're not polymorphed. I'm sorry. So that's 2 damage.
That's okay. I still have another attack and also bonus actions to do more damage. Now that it is grappled, I now get advantage with my attacks. So I will roll 2 attacks to see if I get a crit. An 11 plus 8 is going to be a 19 and a 16. So we'll just take the highest roll for that. Ooh.
11 points of damage.
Yep. That's
very nice. It's looking pretty hurt. You can see that sections of its chest have caved in, the cinders beginning to die down, the flame within its heart beginning to burn out. It looks like it's beginning to fall apart.
If that is the case, I will expend another focus point, which I've and I do a couple more. Oh no, my D&D Beyond just broke.
Oh no! What would you like me to roll?
No, it's refreshing. It's refreshing.
Oh nice. Okay, that was good.
I got the nat 1 on the connection, which is not great.
Oh, that's fun.
That's like, don't take this roll away from me. I need this.
Yeah, I know I need this. I need to finish this thing off.
Yeah.
What is it anyway? I might be able to just manually roll it. /roll D20 plus 8. It's rolling. Oh, look at that!
That's a natural 20.
Hey, let's go!
Oh boy. Okay, roll me some damage.
Cool. I'm just gonna do manual rolls. So it's a D8 plus 5. So it's gonna be a 7.
7 plus an additional 8, so that's going to be a total of 15.
Yep. Cool. And I got another attack as well. /roll 1d20 plus 8. That's going to be a 26. Or I guess I can see to roll if I get another crit, since it's with advantage. 8. Okay. No, it's still high, but it's not a crit, so it's going to be roll.
25 will still hit.
8 plus 5. For a further... Ooh, that's good. 13 points of damage on that.
That's exactly lethal. That's exactly lethal. How would you like to do this?
Kind of as I've like grappled it with in its arms, I sort of release and then in a quick succession of blows, just striking vital points as far as Niles is aware on any sort of humanoid, chest, sort of neck, any sort of weak areas, just trying to strike and just disable this creature as quickly as possible. And then as it's sort of almost gone, I just sort of like release it back into the moonbeam and watch it just disintegrate into dust.
Oh, nice. As it disintegrates and burns away under the light of the moonbeam, you watch as that face, this horrific half like formed face of ash and cinder resembling a human's face. This one looking like a young lad, maybe 16, 17, as it looks towards you. Burn with me. And then just burns away into nothing underneath the moonbeam. With that, you are out of initiative. That was very well done, team. You got on top of the fire very, very quickly. That could have been a lot worse. A lot worse. As we jump out of initiative, the burning buildings, you can hear the sizzle of the still wet boards and dripping water, slowly extinguishing the flames from those nearby buildings. The fire is contained. Only 2 buildings took damage, and even then, only one of them really took damage, the roof caving in on that building towards the south. At this point, Niles, as you head back to go and collect your alchemy jug, as you pick through the wreckage, it's lucky it's an enchanted item because you find it a moment later underneath part of the collapsed roof because you took it up and put it on top.
Yeah, I did.
As you find it picking through the rubble, there is a large crack along the side of it that for a moment you fear is going to be a real problem. You see mayonnaise leaking out the side.
Oh, no!
As soon as you dust off the ash, you watch as it slowly seals back up again. It's a magic item. It's harder to kill. Like, fire's not enough to break it.
I sort of like dust off a little bit, dust myself off.
You watch as mayonnaise begins to pour out the thing. I am the genie of the lamp. No. No.
Not right now, mayonnaise. You stay in there.
Yeah.
Tasty snack for later.
As you all reconvene down at the base, you watch as Ember's sort of kicking through some of the ash zombies, the piles of ash from the Mephits, picking up the ash, sort of sniffing it. Smells almost sulfurous. Something about this, it smells weird, unnatural.
Figman also mentioned that the magic didn't really feel right either. So there's something going on here. Some foul play.
What if we're under the I guess we're assuming that this is a fire giant, but I was thinking with what Figment said back in the house just then, what if this isn't a fire giant? What if this is something else?
You which is Bart.
So could it be a devil? I was gonna say, if it could be a devil, like, I mean, if you said it smelled sulfurous.
Which is Bart looks around and goes like,
volcano sulfur.
I mean, please. It's a town full of burned people, ash piles. Of course it's a fucking fire giant. Like, what? Come on. Bart's pretty biased against giants. You know he'd say this.
Yeah. Well, no, but Bart, think about it. Fire giants, this isn't their MO. They forge items and craft metal. Like, I don't think this is something that they would really do.
Actually, they forged items. That was their general thing. In the same way that the stone giants were dreamers, they kept to themselves. Vice got involved, and suddenly they were warmongers. Well, not warmongers, but, oppressors. Could Vice have something to do with this again? I mean, some kind of equivalent, something that's going to convince the fire giants to use their magic against the inhabitants. Also, Ember, give me back my water.
No, it's mine now. Okay, sorry. Kidding.
I mean, this seems rather... I mean, not to put any sort of... I mean, Vice was quite a crafty fellow, but, I mean, this is well orchestrated. It's the manipulation of a volcano. That's something... I mean, Vice seemed like he needed the power from that hammer, which I don't believe he has yet. So, I don't know if he'd be at his full potential to cause
just Bart looks around a bit shifty.
As my eyes sort of shift a little bit over to him. So I've heard him say that I think he's mentioned that he wants to make a deal. Spoke to the devil. He makes a deal. I don't know, Bart. What do you think then? I sort of raise my eyes a little bit.
Look, I'm just saying that there are burnt corpses, bodies, and ash, and we're dealing with fire giants. Sometimes 2 + 2 = 4. You watch as Ember has sort of wandered over. I rolled a nature check for Ember. It's only a 10. As he wanders over, he's sort of picking through the ash, sniffing it again and going, something about this, it reminds me of something. It's not just sulfur, there's something else in here too. I can't put my finger on it though. I don't know. I'll have a think about it. I'll have a think and I'll let you know what I come up with.
Is it related to your home?
No, not my home. I guess yes, in a way. Maybe. It feels like, because we use ash in glass blowing, right? Like, one of the things you can do with glass is you can use ash to help color it. Depending on how you burn things, you can create different colors of ash to dye things. Something about this smells familiar, but I just can't put my finger on it. I'm not sure what it is. There's something different about this.
Well, speaking of which, before this little encounter with these creatures, Bart and I discovered that there might be some people holed up in the church on top of the hill. Maybe some survivors, or maybe it's worth seeing if they're okay, checking in on them.
Oh yeah, that we should do that. Yeah, let's go.
Unless there's anything else that needs to be done here. I don't know if there's much more that we can do here.
Well, the only other thing I would do is look for loot. But if there are survivors, I think that's a more important thing.
Yes, the survivors might need their belongings, Harry.
Yeah.
I mean, they can come back and get them.
I mean,
from
or
us
they've
they
been
would still.
pilfered by. No, you know what? Never mind. Let's just go see the survivors.
And then as I sort of go along, I'm not sure if how long the ritual spell for this one takes, but I kind of want to cast Gentle Repose on sort of, if it's sort of, you know, in a convenient sort of timing or anything. I'm not sure, like I said, how long it takes, but just to sort of try and like prevent further outbreaks of zombification, but also maybe just provide a little bit of comfort. It's like, it's something. I can't help much, but
100%. Do you want to roll me a perception check or investigation check as you sort of keep a bit of an eye out, moving around?
While this is happening, I think, and before we sort of break off to go find the survivors up on the church, I think Niles, knowing what he knows now, knowing what's happened here, he wants to see if there's what could have caused an outbreak of these Ash Mephits. Is there any other evidence of anything else, you know, that's walked through here, like, you know, giant footprints or some other like telltale signs of some sort of other creature that might have been here?
Sounds like perceptional survival then.
Can Harry help by like investigating with them?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. I'll just give the help action then.
Yeah.
Perfect. I have a decent perception, so I will use perception for
We'll
this.
tell you what, if Niles is doing perception, Harry, did you want to do an investigation? And Bart will give you advantage on this. He'll help you with this.
Okay.
Or survival, your choice.
Oh!
22, natural 20,
Ah,
Harry.
yeah.
Nice. Niles, 11 for the first one. For the second one.
Oh, do I get an advantage on that? Perfect.
Oh, I'm happy
We're
to have
helping
Ember
each
help
other.
you. Ember can help you. That's
incredible.
fine.
Oh, whoever
Bart,
wants to
Bart
help.
helps Harry, Ember helps you. That's not a problem.
We
Barzona's
were giving each other the help action.
That's not how that works, but sure. 18 for perception. Okay. All right. Here's what
Amazing.
you see. Harry and Niles, you are kind of working together on this. One of you sort of looking for signs of things. One of you kind of using your tracking ability, your history and experience in chasing leads down and chasing down rubes that you can steal shit from. Allegedly. As you begin to look over the ash, there are no giant footprints through the town. In fact, there's really only the tracks of the people leading towards the evacuation point. What's interesting as well is that the ash that has fallen over the town clearly at one point was far thicker. The ash that's falling now is this very thin, almost like a light drizzle, but judging by the big piles of ash and where it's kind of piled up against buildings and things like that, it looks like there were heavier ash falls for a couple of days before this kind of happened. You can see signs where people have swept and pushed the ash out of their homes, where they've gathered it up and moved it away from windowsills and things like that. It looks like the ash falling here was happening for a little bit of time, more than just the last 24 hours. The last 24 hours, though, have been intense, but it is now starting to lighten up. Judging by the fall of ash, judging by the depth of the footprints, Harry, you can see that the fact that you can still see footprints means that it had to have lightened, right? The heaviest ashfall was before or during the evacuation. Those footprints are still there, only very lightly obscured by a thin layer of ash. You should see if there had been any giant footprints, any indication of any other creatures, but really it's just boots and bare feet from humanoids, occasional paw prints from animals. And it's at that point you realize there would be pets here and livestock. Nothing. No sign. Few paw prints from dogs down towards the docks moving with owners, but that's it. Nothing else. And as you look towards the fields back at the edge of the town, no goats, no sheep, no chickens. Very bizarre for a coastal settlement like this to have no livestock at all. But there's nothing.
Tattoo, are they still on the boat?
They were going to do a sail around to see what they could see from the water, see if they could find any survivors or any signs of other Maloran orcs out on the waves, any potential boats that have sunk. Rillia's underneath the water trying to...
Here on the land.
They're not here with you guys on land, no.
'Cause the ones that are not here on the land.
They're not here with you guys on land.
Okay.
It's at this moment, Harry and Niles, Harry particularly for 22 as you investigate, you think the Mephits came from the ashfall. And as you reach up and catch a few flakes of ash on your fingers, Harry, you watch as a few of them begin to spiral, try and form, and then break apart. Nowhere near enough of them. These are coming from the ashfall, from the volcano.
Hey, guys, I think there's some really sus magic happening at the volcano because the ash is collecting. And look at it's like dancing around each other. Ash shouldn't act this way. And
it's like coagulating together.
Exactly. There should be more ash. And they're turning into Mephits.
What?
The ash is like it's like an invasion. We need to find out what's happening at the volcano, but we also need to take the survivors first.
22, Harry. I'm going to give you a bit more because it's a natural 20.
Yeah.
Mephits are elementals. Mephits on Nostea, not unusual. Even though elementals normally come from their home plane, it's actually not unusual to find elementals on Nostea. During the Ruin, when the massive release of energy from the gods fighting one another, the breakdown of the walls of reality, allowing energy from the planes to shoot through. During that period of time, during all the situation that happened there are now a number of Mephits concentrated on Nostea, and any collection of elemental energy with natural magic will form Mephits over time. If natural magic, if natural weave is concentrated around a strong source of elemental energy, Mephits will begin to spawn around it.
Okay.
You have never heard of Ash Mephits before. Magma, smoke, fire, sure. Ash? You've never heard of an Ash Mephit before, ever. With a natural 22, you're very confident about this.
What?
This is new.
Some buildup of magic at the volcano.
Ember.
I mean,
yes.
I'm not well versed in volcanoes. I don't know if you would be. I mean, you are well versed in the art of fire. But tell me, what are telltale signs of? Do you know anything about volcanic activity, eruptions, that sort of thing?
Let's find out. That's a natural 1.
Shit.
Yes, actually, Niles, I'm pretty well versed on this.
Yes.
I mean, back in my village, the shaman would often she would look at the clouds, and she could see when volcanoes were erupting based on the clouds. She did have to drink a special tea, I believe, some roots and leaves, roots and stem from this plant. I can't remember what it's called, but she used to do that, and she would see things in the spiritual realm, and that's how she knew when volcanoes were erupting.
Oh, okay. It's a shame they're not around now. Be good to use their.
Oh, I'm sure we could go looking for the plants and things like that. If you wanted to, we could try and see if we could trigger a vision. Have you ever spirit walked before?
No, I can't say that I have.
How similar is it to the dream walking? I mean, could be doable.
I don't think you actually go anywhere. Just inward.
I mean, I have done much inward meditation before. I can't imagine it's much different.
Oh, you taste colors.
Oh.
Yeah. See sounds. Feel your own death sometimes, if it's a bad one. Sometimes it can go badly. You watch yourself slowly rot and fall apart. Yeah, it's pretty scary. I think there was one time where one of my friends, actually the one that we saw back at Madria, he had a bad dream walk one time, bad spirit walk, and he just screamed for 3 days straight. It was pretty bad, actually. Yeah.
Maybe we don't do that.
Is there anything
can't go wrong
from these experiences?
You can know when volcanoes are going to erupt. For one.
Wow.
All sorts of things. You can see natural disasters coming from a few years off.
Can I, because I'm carrying around a container of gelatinous cube goop, and seeing that the sort of use it as a suspension sort of thing. Because I'm figuring that the magic probably poops quite quickly from these ancient Mephit piles, but I'm gonna try and scoop sort of some of the ancient one into this goop and just hope that enough of the magic. Maybe I'll capture some of the existing ashes.
Can you change your vial of gelatinous slime to vial of ashy gelatinous slime, please?
Ember,
yeah.
Could you just walk me through your dream again? That sequence that you had that led us here. What exactly did you see? What did you experience?
I was back home, back in the Ashgrove. I think I was younger. It was sort of like a memory kind of.
You weren't spirit walking back in Oxenfurt, were you?
Oh no, I hadn't had the.
Oh, this wasn't. Oh, okay. I thought maybe you were dabbling a little bit in the. No, never mind.
Oh no, I would have been out for a few days, or at least a day, and I would have vomited a lot as well. There's like a part of it called the purge where you have to like throw up. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, no, this was just a dream, I think, but it kind of felt prophetic in a way. I was back in the Ashgrove. I was younger, I think. It was sort of a memory. You know how sometimes dreams draw upon memories? It was kind of like when I was younger and first forged my connection to Flicker. So what we do is we make an egg out of glass. Young ash druids, young wildfire druids. We forge large section of glass using special materials, special sands, special ash, minerals that we use, and then we pour our magic into it, and then we drop it into water to harden it instantly. It forms this very hard to break material, this sort of like egg-like structure. And then we superheat that again and allows us to hatch a wildfire spirit. So I was back in the Ashgrove hatching Flicker, and then Flicker hatched, but then began to grow really quickly and change forms and shift. And then the landscape kind of shifted and became darker. And I watched as these volcanoes rose around the Ashgrove, began erupting, and the Ashgrove burned away into nothing, leaving me and Flicker standing there.
When you say they erupted, describe that. Was it
the ground shook, the rocks began to fall. There was a rock slide from one of them, and then all of a sudden, flame and smoke began to pour from the caldera, pouring into the sky. Magma flowed down the side, rivers of it, until it surrounded the Ashgrove. The forests in the background burned, and I could hear the screams of my people. It was pretty traumatic, actually.
We haven't experienced anything like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if there's any...
Well, he points up at the massive cloud of smoke and then over towards the other side of the volcano where you can see steam rising where magma has poured out of the caldera down towards the ocean.
Okay, so there is magma. Okay.
You could see the magma as you were coming in. There was this light on the horizon that was... And that part of that is the steam that's creating this from the magma pouring down. Yes, Ali, you're correct. A Prince Rupert's drop is what I'm referencing. That's exactly what Flicker hatched from. We also call them Dragon's Tears as well, when they get that really beautiful coloration. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of intense. Yeah. You said there were survivors in the church?
Yes.
Maybe?
Yes.
I think we should go and check on them, because like they might be survivors now, but I mean these things were tough. Yeah.
They weren't easy to fight. No.
And if Harry's right, and this is just falling from the sky and can make more Mephits, like nowhere's safe.
We're gonna move fast.
Yeah, nowhere's safe under the ash cloud. That's pretty bad.
We should get there and pick them up as soon as we can.
Try and just get them away from here.
Perfect.
Let's go.
I'll race you.
You'll win.
You fly.
You watch as Ember like turns and looks towards Flicker and then goes, "Actually, yeah, you're on." Then teleports and then teleports and then teleports every 6 seconds. I still think you're faster, even with him teleporting. I still think you're quicker. Perfect. As you begin making your way over towards the church, rushing forwards, pass through the front gates, the rusted iron creaking. You can see that sections of the metalwork have actually, looks like they've melted in some places, like they've been exposed to this flash of extreme heat. But beyond the border of this wall, beyond the border of the fencing, there's no real damage at all. And even more interestingly, the ashfall around the church is much thinner. There's almost no ash coverage along the ground within the boundaries of this church. And as you look up, you can see that it is a church to Lysander, the goddess of the sun. And above, the ash cloud, it's not as intense over her tabernacle, over her chapel.
Can I tweet this out and just be like, I feel like my devil theory's holding water?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, you definitely can. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, could be on something there. As you approach the front doors, crouching low, keeping quiet, that is where we're going to wrap up for tonight's session.
Nice.
We'll come back next session as you see what's inside. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed tonight's session. I had to do a little bit of rebalancing of the combat on the fly because we were down a few people. Had them focusing their attention elsewhere. But it was really good to have you guys here tonight. So thank you so much for coming. For those of you watching on Twitch, don't go anywhere. We are going to go and raid a lovely friend of the channel tonight. That is going to be none of our usual friends are up doing things. Okay, let's go and raid Tales of Vespara. They have one viewer right now, and it looks like they're on episode 9. I'm guessing of Rime of the Frost Maiden because it looks like they're doing because it's called Frost on the Horizon. Feels like that's a Rime of the Frost Maiden. Could be homebrew. Let's go find out. Let's go raid them. Let's go find out. Yeah, this looks like fun. They've made their Hero Forge characters. Awesome sauce. Let's go and raid them. I will get that raid loaded up. For those of you watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast, thank you so much. Remember, hit the like, subscribe buttons. Leave a comment if you can. Every single one of those is one less Ash Mephit that is going to get stuck inside Harry's pants. Yep, that's right. It's kind of like sand. The ash gets everywhere. It's awful. It's itchy. It's scratchy. It's all inside Harry's britches. Nobody wants that.
When I loot things, I pick it up and there's ash in there. I don't care. I just put it in.
Wow.
In your pants? It pours the ash into his pants and then puts the thing in his pack.
Yeah, you know when I picked up that golden tooth from the ground, I just took a handful of ash with it.
That's true.
Wow.
That's very true. That is a fact. So yeah, make sure you do those things. Otherwise, Harry's going to end up with a very, very ashy sack. Thank you so much. We will see you all next time. Until then, you can dislike to put more ash in. That is true. If you make your intention known in the comments, I'll know whether to add more ash or take ash out. That's the way it goes. Thank you so much, everybody. We will see you all next time. Until then, stay safe, stay well. See you guys all again soon. Goodbye. Farewell.
Bye.
Oh no, that's not the right button. I will try that again.